Welcome to the Healthy Body. Dr. Alex here. Today, we're diving into a topic that might surprise you. How a simple, inexpensive kitchen staple could help restore your energy, circulation, and even your confidence, especially for men over 60. And no, this isn't some exotic herb or complicated supplement. It's something you probably already have in your cupboard: baking soda. Now I know what you might be thinking. Baking soda? Isn't that for cleaning the fridge or making cookies? Yes, it is, but it's also something much more powerful when used correctly for your health. In today's deep dive, I'll explain why so many people lose their glow after 60, the science of how baking soda affects your body's internal chemistry, how it can support circulation, muscle recovery, and mental clarity, its surprising link to sexual health and confidence, how to use it safely, and the mistakes you must avoid. Plus, my simple 7-day morning protocol that many of my older patients say gave them a second chance in a teaspoon. If you stay with me to the end, you'll have not just information, but a clear action plan you can start using right away. Why so many older adults lose their natural glow. Over the years, I've spoken with thousands of men and women in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. They often sit across from me with a quiet frustration in their voice and ask, "Why do I feel like I've lost my spark?" It's not vanity. It's not about chasing youth. It's about wanting to feel alive again, to wake up ready to face the day, to look in the mirror and see energy in your eyes, not fatigue. Here's the reality. As we age, our body's internal environment changes. It tends to become more acidic, more inflamed, and slower to clear out waste. Your kidneys work a little less efficiently. Your blood becomes a little thicker. Toxins stay in your system longer. And as circulation slows, that vibrant, healthy glow you once had begins to fade. I'll give you an example. Not from a medical textbook, but from real life. John, one of my patients in his late 60s, told me, "Doc, I get a full night's sleep, but I still feel sluggish. My skin looks dull. My motivation's gone. My doctor says my labs are fine, but I know I'm not fine." What John was experiencing was slow toxicity buildup and an imbalance in his body's pH, something most people never think about, but that plays a huge role in how we feel and function. The science of baking soda and your body's pH. Let's talk about the why before we jump into the how. Baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate, is what we call a natural alkalizer. In simple terms, it helps neutralize excess acid in the body. When we're young, our bodies are great at keeping this acid-alkaline balance in check. But after decades of life, stress, processed foods, less activity, medications, the balance shifts. We slowly drift toward a more acidic state. Now, we're not talking about stomach acid here. That's different. I'm talking about the acidity in your blood and tissues, which can sap your energy, make your joints feel stiff, cause your skin to look dull, slow down every cell in your body. Think of acidity like a fog that settles over your entire system. Here's where baking soda comes in. Used correctly, it can gently nudge your chemistry back toward balance. Your blood flows more freely. Oxygen travels more efficiently. Inflammation begins to ease. I once worked with a retired engineer named Peter who started a careful baking soda routine. 2 weeks later, he said, "It's like I got my batteries recharged. I didn't realize how heavy I'd been feeling until the fog started to lift." Baking soda and blood flow, the circulation link. In my decades of men's health practice, I've learned one thing above all. Circulation is everything. It's the river of life that delivers oxygen, nutrients, and hormones to every corner of your body. And after 60, that river often slows. You might notice cold hands and feet, slower healing, a lower energy, a less stamina in the bedroom. The common mistake? People assume it's just aging. But often, it's reduced blood vessel flexibility and blockages in the smallest vessels, the ones that feed your muscles, skin, brain, and yes, sexual organs. Here's where baking soda is more than just a kitchen helper. Research shows it can support nitric oxide production, helping blood vessels relax and open up. It acts almost like an internal cleanser, easing inflammation so blood can move freely again. One of my patients, Michael, 71, described it perfectly. "It was like someone turned the tap back on. My hands warmed up. I had more pep in my step. Even my wife noticed I seemed more alive. Baking soda and muscle performance after 60. Another challenge of aging is how quickly our muscles fatigue. Even a short walk or some light gardening can leave you sore or drained. Why? One big reason is lactic acid buildup. When your muscles work, they produce this acid. When you're younger, your body clears it quickly. As you age, it lingers, making you feel heavy and slow to recover. Baking soda is a natural buffer. It helps neutralize lactic acid, letting your muscles work more efficiently and recover faster. I had a retired firefighter named Sam in his late 60s who loved morning walks, but couldn't finish his usual loop without calf cramps. We added a gentle baking soda routine, and within a week he walked the whole route, no cramps. Baking soda and mental clarity. Brain fog is another silent thief of vitality. That moment when you walk into a room and forget why. When a word you know is on the tip of your tongue. When you wake up already tired. Often, this fog is linked to sluggish blood flow and acidity in the body. When your brain isn't getting the oxygen and nutrients it needs, your thinking slows. By helping restore a healthier pH balance and improving circulation, baking soda can help clear that fog. One of my retired teacher patients told me, "It's like someone turned the lights back on upstairs." Baking soda and sexual health, the unclogging effect. Now this is a topic many men shy away from, but it's too important to ignore. For many men over 60, changes in sexual performance have less to do with testosterone, and more to do with restricted blood flow to the small vessels in the penis. Over time, these vessels can become narrowed, inflamed, or partially clogged. By reducing acidity and easing inflammation, baking soda can help open these vessels up, allowing better blood flow and restoring not just performance but confidence and dignity. One of my patients put it simply, "Doc, it wasn't just about intimacy. It made me feel like myself again." How to use baking soda safely. Here's the part most people get wrong, and where you must be careful. Start small. 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda in a glass of room temperature water. Take it on an empty stomach, ideally in the morning before breakfast. Use it 2 to 4 times a week, not every day indefinitely. For some, an external method works wonders too, like a warm baking soda foot soak before bed to help the body relax and detox through the skin. The mistakes to avoid. Overdoing it. More is not better. Too much baking soda can upset your stomach, raise sodium levels, or stress your kidneys. Skipping breaks. Your body needs time between doses. Ignoring medications. If you take blood pressure meds, have kidney issues, or other chronic conditions, talk to your doctor first. The 7-day glow and confidence morning protocol. Here's the routine many of my older patients love. Day 1-3-5. 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda in water before breakfast. Day 2-4-6. A relaxing foot soak or gentle stretching with deep breathing. Day 7. Rest day. Focus on hydration and fresh whole foods. It's simple, gentle, and helps the body find its rhythm again. Many people report feeling lighter, clearer, and more energetic within a week. Your body is not broken. Yes, it's different than it was at 30, but it's still capable of remarkable strength, clarity, and joy. Sometimes, all it takes is one small daily choice, like a humble teaspoon of baking soda, to remind your body how to thrive again. So start small. Be consistent. And watch how these little acts of self-care can ripple out into every part of your life.